Welcome, everyone, to Week 11. Can you believe it? Of the NFL. It's the November 15 edition of Father, Son, and Holy Sport NFL show. I'm G-Man. There's T-Money.
What's going on, G-Man? Fun weekend, lots of upsets. It was a great Sunday of football. Just so many good games. Oh, man, the Astronauts just doing his thing now with Josh Dobbs. And there's just so much excitement around the league. We just had news come down. Deshaun Watson's out for the year with surgery. So he's out this morning. So lots to talk about. Lots of interesting things coming to fold here. You know, it's just been a wild, wild year, and we're only halfway. So great.
Yeah. And I see the Bills went and fired their offensive coordinator. So
yeah,
Bills are not happy with things, and they shouldn't be. Hey, but if you thought Week 10 was great, T-Money, Week 11 is going to be even better. We've got a sandwich to serve up to you. We know you like Subway sandwiches and Jersey Mike sandwiches. This is an even better sandwich, T-Money. Thursday night, AFC matchup is the first part of the sandwich, and the second part of the sandwich is Monday night, a rematch of last year's Super Bowl. We got the Bengals and Ravens Thursday. We got the Eagles and Chiefs Monday night. The sandwich is built for you, T-Money.
I know. It's going to be a fun week, man. I'm excited.
KC and Philly are both the number one seeds right now, just as we planned. You and I predicted the two of them in the Super Bowl, T-Money, except I picked Philly to win the Super Bowl, and you picked Kansas City, but we both got them in. But, hey, let me ask you right now, who has the third best record in the NFL? They have the best records, but who's the third best record? It's not someone you would naturally think of.
The Detroit Lions. Come on.
This is the Detroit Lions. Number 2 seed in the NFC at 7-2. Hey, who's forgetting about Detroit out here, man? Hey, they beat Kansas City, T-Money, so watch out, man. And let's talk about that NFC to kick things off here, though, T-Money. I want to talk to you about Carolina, currently one of the worst teams, 1-8. Very disappointing start here after that number 1 pick, Bryce Young, all the excitement. What do you think? Is he a bust in your mind, T-Money?
Oh, wow. It's trending in that direction, isn't it? You know, it's getting a little dicey for Bryce Young. Right now, he is very, very deep on the passer rating rankings right now. Aiden O'Connell with the Raiders is ranked above him. Jimmy G, who has been benched, is ranked above him. Mac Jones is ranked above him. Jordan Love, Will Levis, all these guys. So it is not looking bright for him right now. I think the biggest thing is he just looks so small out there. You know, he looked like such a brilliant passer in college and so elusive and just felt so comfortable in the pocket. And look, in the NFL, you don't have great linemen. You don't have the best receivers, and you got to do with what you can. And that's why a lot of the great quarterbacks come from places where they struggled. Tom Brady's Michigan team was not that great. Patrick Mahomes was running for his life at Texas Tech. Josh Allen was not even a Division I player. He was at Wyoming. So a lot of these guys go through adversity. And Bryce Young just sat in the pocket. He threw to Devontae Smith, and he had the best offensive line and the best defense. And he's also tiny. He is tiny. You watch him on the field, and he just looks so small. Unfortunately, it's trending towards bust. I don't see how he gets much better unless they have the best offensive line in football. And that takes time to get to. I'm genuinely nervous the guy's not going to make it to his second contract just because he's going to get banged up. So I don't know if he's a bust yet, but it's trending in that direction and a lot faster than I ever thought it would.
Well, I'd agree with a lot of what you said, T-Money. This has to fall a lot on the coaches, man. Frank Reich, Frank Reich's not doing the job.
I know you're not a fan.
Head coach. He's not. Well, no, it's not that he's not doing the job in the NFL, man. People keep bringing him in. He's not doing it.
Yeah.
And now he's got Bryce Young. He's got this golden nugget in his hand. And what is he doing with him? It's not Bryce Young, man. It's the team. This team is terrible. They're terrible on offense. They're terrible on defense too, T-Money. They used to be kind of good on defense. They're not even good on defense anymore.
Yeah,
they
run
lost
game,
to the
no nothing.
Bears, man.
Yeah, they had a run game last year. They don't even have that anymore. So, yeah, Frank's not doing great. He's on the hot seat. I would be shocked if he was back next year. It's unfortunate for Bryce. He was great in college, but he just does not look like he can handle this right now. And
Still
so,
have confidence in you, Bryce. I still think you can do it, man. I don't know if this is your team for you, but hey, Carolina's going to face Dallas this week. Oh my God, they're double-digit dogs at home, but I don't know if that's going to matter. They're up against a tough wall here. Hey, Team Monday, let's go on. Let's talk about the Texans. The other guy, Bryce Young, did beat C.J. Stroud a couple weeks ago. That's his claim to fame for the season.
yeah.
But C.J. Stroud totally outplaying him right now. Looking at the full season and looking at last year's draft, is C.J. Stroud emerging here as the best pick of all? And is he the league MVP at this point, Team Money?
Oh man, and look, he's a low key in this MVP conversation. This team is not great. They had 6 of 22 starters out when they beat the Bengals this past Sunday, and he just drove them down for the game-winning field goal like it was nothing. And Bengals are saying, "Oh, Tyler Boyd doesn't drop that." We'll talk about them in a minute, but I think CJ's special. He's 6th in passer rating in the league right now. And of active guys, because Kirk Cousins isn't playing, he's 5th. He is playing great football. He clearly has a knack for this game. He's a lot more mobile than he ever showed at Ohio State. This guy is composed. He has the most air yards in the NFL. He's 2nd in total passing yards in the NFL. The guy is not dinking and dunking. This isn't Kenny Pickett here being saved by his defense. This guy is the reason they are winning. He's passing to Nico Collins and Tank Dell, for God's sakes. Like, I love those guys as fantasy players, but they're not even near the top echelon of pass catchers in this league. So
Noah Brown.
Yeah, exactly.
He's making average guys great out there at wide receiver.
Exactly. They have no run game, and so it's impressive, man. Look, he's not the MVP yet. The record just isn't good enough. He's had a few bad games. Right now, he's the hot name, but he's very impressive. Like, he is a no doubt. I mean, how many teams would trade their current quarterback for him? Probably 25 of 32. You know what I mean? Like, he's that type of class where it's like Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, Justin Herbert, and then everyone else is questioning whether or not they want to keep him, versus CJ Stroud. So it's impressive. I'm happy for the guy. I was questionable because of, typical Ohio State quarterback coming out. They've always had it easy, kind of like I was speaking with Bryce Young.
Got to throw a jab in there. Okay.
Hey, I'm just saying they always have. You don't name another elite Ohio State NFL quarterback, and I'll wait. That's what I thought. Well,
there you're talking about one right now.
Exactly.
I know you're talking about one. Okay.
I truly believe that's why he fell to 2nd, because everyone knows he was immaculate in college, but they're like, oh man, another Ohio State guy, had all the time, Ryan Day scheming up these things. But no, this guy's the truth. This guy's the truth. So, and I think you were on him day one, man. You called it. So I'll give you credit.
Hey, well, yeah, I mean, I like his size. I like his size over Bryce Young more than anything. They both are great passers.
Yeah.
But how about things that impressed me, Stroud, so far? And we're week 11, so we got a good sample size of him. Here's one of his key: 15 touchdowns to 2 interceptions. That's by far the best in the NFL. He's not throwing the ball away. So that is really, really a big thing there. The other thing I'm really impressed with is he took a losing team. How many times do we see these quarterbacks? They end up on the worst teams because of the way the draft's set up. And he ended up on one of the worst teams, Houston. And he is, like you said, he's dragging them to victory. Yeah. He took the last 2 games. He has taken last-minute game-winning drives to win. The last 2 games, put it on his back. So definitely in the conversation. The other guys ahead of him, though, are playing some big games this weekend for the guys ahead of him in the MVP race. We got Mahomes against Hurts. Those guys are playing each other. So who will emerge out of that game? And we got Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson, who are down there at like the 4 and 5 spot for the MVP. Who's going to emerge out of that game? That's going to shake up the MVP race after those games.
For sure, for sure. Let me say this, regardless of MVP, he's clearly on the way to the best rookie season ever. So congrats to CJ.
Yeah, CJ, great job. Only rookie to win the NFL MVP, Jim Brown, 1957. Hey, Houston's at home. Arizona's coming in. Kyler Murray against CJ. Sunday at 1. That should be interesting, man. Let's talk about Joe Burrow's team, T-Money, though. Let's move over to the Bengals, and they got that big game. What do you think? If the playoffs started today, the Bengals would not make the playoffs. Do you think they turn it around down the stretch here and get into the playoffs?
Oh man, I am nervous for my Bengals. That was a huge swing game. And I told you guys, watch out for Houston. I said this was a trap game, and I freaking called it, man. They were looking ahead to Baltimore, Pittsburgh, Jacksonville after this. The Bengals are in trouble, man. They're in trouble. Look, I know everyone's going to say they started 5-4 the past 2 seasons, and they've made the AFC Championship both years. So I'm not doubting that they can do this, but they also have the 3rd hardest schedule moving forward. And that's tough. No one that they're going to play has a losing record. So we're in real trouble here. And look, don't complain to me that Boyd would have caught that ball. They would have won that game. CJ Stroud would have drove down and got a damn field goal at that point, or got a damn touchdown at that point. He was carving them up. So you don't know that. I'm nervous for the Bengals right now because Joe Burrow's playing well. I mean, he obviously had a rough game, throwing 2 bad picks. But the Bengals are in trouble. I mean, right now, they don't have a lot of tiebreakers. They got to win twice versus Pittsburgh. I mean, we're 4th in our own division. So the only team we have a tiebreaker against is the Bills, who are in even more trouble than us. So I'm in serious concern right now. I don't think we're going to be able to sneak in, man. The AFC is just too loaded, and we've dug ourselves too deep of a hole. I don't think it's going to be possible unless teams like Pittsburgh fall apart, and they're too well coached. So I don't know. I don't see how we can get to 11 wins to secure a playoff spot right now. This is going to be really difficult.
I mean, look at the teams behind the Texans. The Texans are the last one in to the playoffs in the AFC, and the Bengals are behind them. And like you said, they lose the tiebreak. So the Texans have them on a tiebreak right now. So the other teams behind, the other teams with 5 losses are also pretty good teams. The Colts, the Bills, the Chargers, the Jets, the Broncos are playing well, and the Raiders. All those guys have 5 losses. They're right behind Cincinnati.
Yeah, it's tough, man. I'm really nervous for our Bengals. I hope nothing but the best for us. I'll be cheering you on, but this is going to be tough. This is going to be an uphill battle. So it's going to show a lot of resilience if we can pull this together and get to the playoffs.
Hey, Bengals got that Thursday night game. They're getting 3.5 at the Ravens, man. I like those points. I like the Bengals with those 3.5 points. I'm not sure if they get that victory team money, but 3.5 is a nice bet, man. I'm going with that. Baltimore won by 3 in Cincinnati in week 2. They could beat him by 3 again, but I think Joe keeps him in this thing. He was injured in that last game, and the Ravens lost 2 key players on Sunday, offensive lineman and D-back. So, hey, this could be closer. Hey, thanks to our show sponsor, Blue Tees Golf, blueteesgolf.com. Go check it out. Affordable, high-quality golf products for you. Enter the coupon code FSHS. Get a 10% discount on your order. Everybody likes 10%, right? Okay, well, let's go get it. Hey, Team Money, let's shift back here. Talk about another AFC quarterback, Team Money, who's having troubles. That's Mac Jones. Do you expect them to move on from Mac Jones in New England?
I think this was the final nail in the coffin for that guy. To be benched on a game-winning drive for Bailey Zappi, that's pretty rough. I mean, he scored 7 points and had so many opportunities. He's backpedaling, throwing a pick at the end of the game. That basically cost them when they were in the red zone. It's not looking good for Mac Jones and these Patriots. It's bleak right now. It is bleak, and I'm worried about him. I am worried about him. Look, I'm in full tank for Caleb Williams mode if I'm the Patriots and I'm a Patriots fan. That's the smartest thing you can do at this point. Stop winning games. But yeah, Mac Jones is out. It's not even close. I can see someone like Kirk Cousins going there. You know, they might give Mac a few starts at the beginning of the year, but, you know, when Kirk's ready to be full tilt, he'll come in and He just seems like a Patriots QB to me, you know, not elite, but just perfect. Bill Belichick would like him. He's a consummate pro. I could see someone like that, the Patriots, taking a swing at Kirk Cousins next year. But I'm in Caleb Williams mode if you can get him.
Yeah. Well, you got 4 quarterbacks in the top 20 picks is the projection. Who do you like there? You got Caleb Williams. Yes. What do you think about the other 3? Drake May, Quinn Ewers, and Michael Penix. What do you think of those other 3?
I'm a Bo Nix fan personally.
Okay.
I would
You
lean
think he
Bo
goes
Nix.
top 20?
Penix is too injury prone to me. He's had a couple ACLs already. Shout out, you know what I mean? Look, I love Drake May. I just don't think they're going to be picking in the top 3. So I don't think they're going to have a shot at Drake May because Belichick's too good to just lose games. He's going to win some sort of defensive slog once or twice. So, and I don't think Quinn Ewers just announced he's coming back. So, I'm a Bo Nix guy. I think he'd fit well. He's a solid guy.
Okay. Well, that's interesting. Good picks there, Team Money. Hey, I'll tell you a little something about this New England team, man. I support Belichick staying there. I think the guy I'm one of those guys that feels like he earned that spot and he should stay there if he wants. But however, I do not like, have you ever had a boss yell at you, Team Money? I've had a boss yell at me before. That's no fun, man. I don't care if it's the NFL or not. I'm talking about leadership. I just don't like the way Bill O'Brien yelled at Mac Jones on the sideline. Yeah. Everybody saw the video. And he was screaming at the guy. They're both from Alabama. They were together in Alabama, so you think they would have a relationship. I just don't like him doing that. If you're going to yell at him like that, do it in private. And Mac Jones is a defeated man. His head's down on the bench. He has no confidence. And how would you like that? If your boss was telling you were a loser, of course you'd think you were a loser. Yeah. I just don't like Bill O'Brien treating him like that. I think Mac Jones can be successful.
Me too.
He's not doing it. I know. I just think that the New England coaching staff has to take some responsibility.
100%.
I do like Team Money, the combination at the running back with Stevenson and Zeke. Zeke's looking great. I like that combination of running back. They got that running game. I think they can do it. They just need some fleet-footed wide receivers, man. Get someone like Tyreek Hill or, these other teams are making moves, man. Get some wide receivers out there and get a quarterback, and let's open up this offense. You got the running backs.
You feel better, Gare?
Hey, I'm really going. I think I got this whole thing solved, man.
He's coming for the Patriots today. He's coming for the Patriots.
This whole thing's covered. G-Man's got the formula 1, 2, 3. I just gave it to you.
There you go. I like it. I agree with everything you said, G.
Patriots on a bye this week. They're played the Sunday after Thanksgiving against this team right here. We're going to talk about them later. But let's go back over to that AFC North division. Let's talk about the Ravens, Team Money. Are you worried about them being able to win that AFC North after blowing the lead last week against the Browns?
Oh, yeah, that's an interesting one, right? Like, they seemed like they were a juggernaut, and now they're kind of falling to the wayside. I mean, getting beat that bad, like, not beat that, but like blowing that big of a lead is really shocking. They were the belle of the ball here, just destroyed the Detroit Lions the last time we saw them. And then with a great win versus the Cardinals and the Seahawks, and then they come out and blow this game. They don't have a horrible schedule coming up. Now they do play, Bengals, Chargers, Jags, Niners, Dolphins, Steelers. Like, it's a tough schedule. But they have the Rams in there, the Chargers in there. There's like a few cupcakes they should easily win. I think they're going to easily make the playoffs. And I do think they're going to hold on to this division. And the reason is, during the regular season, it's very hard for teams to scheme for Lamar Jackson when practicing a few days beforehand. It's a lot different for these AFC teams that have seen Lamar consistently and when playoff pressure comes time. So I think they're going to be fine during the regular season. I think they're going to win 11 or 12 games and get this division. But it's the playoffs that we have question marks about. I'm done questioning Lamar in the regular season. The guy's great. He's had a great year. They always perform in the regular season. I'm here for the playoffs, baby. That's where I'm at with Lamar. It's no longer can you win your division. It's can you win the AFC. So that's where I'm at. I don't really give a shit whether he wins the division or not. That won't affect how I view him. I want him to go out and win playoff games.
That's right. That's right. I agree with you there. And that Ravens offense really picked it up this year. We thought they might. New offensive coordinator, and that offense has picked it up. That D's still there, but now they have more offense. Hey, let's move on to big bets, T-Money. Do us a favor before we do, though, everybody. Press that like and subscribe, man. We appreciate your support. We're going to move on to big bets. Give you some winning picks here, man. And T-Money and G-Man have been hot. I hope you've been following Father-Son Sports, man. We are giving you the picks 7-0 last week. 68% against the spread this year at Father-Son Sports. This includes accuracy on the spread on games, plus player prop bets. We got it all for you again for week 11. Team Money, let's start with our lock pick of the week. Who do you like for a lock?
My lock pick of the week here is the Seattle Seahawks. All right. Right now, they're getting points at the Rams. That's shocking to me. The Rams don't look good. Yes, they may be coming off a bye, but I don't care. The Rams aren't good. Seattle has won 3 of their last 4. They're looking to maybe even win this division. And so this is a huge swing game for them. The Rams are in a free fall. Is Matthew Stafford even going to start? They've only won 3 games. Haven't won one in their last 3 starts. And so I'm not convinced that they can show up and make this thing a game. Now, look, they did beat the Seahawks in the first game of the year, but that's kind of everyone getting their footing. No one really knows who they are. Everyone was kind of high on the Rams after that, and then now they're 3-6, so everyone's backed off, and everyone loves Seattle now. Seattle, I think, is going to win this thing. So +1, easy money for me.
Oh man, Team Money. All right, the Rams play Seattle tough. It's going to be. I think that line's about right. Hey, let's go to Hard Rock Stadium in Miami Sunday at 1:00. These guys behind me, they start to get it going. Nobody's talking about Miami, Team Money. They're just under the radar. They're going to blow the Raiders out of the gym. Antonio Pierce is 2-0 as interim coach. I know that. He's doing great, but he beat the Giants and the Jets. Now it's these 2 guys behind me. That's going to be a little bit tougher, Team Money. Plus, the trends are favoring the Dolphins. I know the spread's big at 13, but they're great at home. They're great at a home favorite. They've won all 4 of their home games by at least 14 points this season, Team Money. And they're 3-0 against the spread as a double-digit favorite under Mike McDaniel. Give me Miami and the guys on my screen, and we'll cover the 13 points for my lock pick of the week.
Okay. All right. Going to be an interesting one. My dog lock pick of the week, the Vikings +2 versus Denver. I think they can win this thing. They've won 5 straight. They got the Pastronaut Josh Dobbs coming in and balling out. They've scored 27 and 31 in their last 2 games. And right now, Denver seems to have the training wheels on Russell Wilson. Just don't make mistakes right now. Their defense looks good, but Minnesota's defense has come on as well. So I really like the Vikings in this spot. They're getting hot right now, and Denver, I think, has played a little over their skis versus the Chiefs and the Bills these past few weeks, snuck away with some wins with major turnover-heavy games. Josh Dobbs doesn't turn the ball over, so give me the Vikings +2 to win this game.
Okay, Team Money. Yeah, Minnesota only 2 games back of Detroit Lions. Can they catch them? They're starting to kind of push toward that top. People thought they were done. Nice job. Let's go for my dog lock pick of the week, Team Money. Going to FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. The Giants and Commanders are going at it. Hey, just 2 weeks ago, the Giants beat Washington by 7. Okay. Wink Martindale, the DC for the Giants, totally confused Sam Howell. So he disrupted that offense. And also, did you know, T, 7 of the last 8 matchups in this rivalry were 1-score games? And you're going to give the Giants 10 points? Washington hasn't covered 10 points all season. and has done so only 4 times in the last 3 years. It's too many points, Team Money. Give me these guys right here, plus 10. Dog lock pick of the week.
All right. All right. I like it. I like it. And let's move on to everyone's betting section here. And that's G-Man's player prop of the week. G-Man's hot right now, hitting all his player props. What do you got for us, G?
What the heck? Last week, 3 for 3. I'm going to give you 3 more, T-Money. And these are going to be easy to remember. I'm going to give you 2 players that are going to throw more than 1.5 touchdowns. The first one plays Thursday night, and that's Joe Burrow. Over 1.5 touchdowns. He's beaten that 5 weeks in a row, T-Money. This is going to be a competitive game. I think they'll be in the 20s. He gets over 1.5 touchdowns. The other guy touchdown plays Monday night. Jalen Hurts. He's done it 3 weeks in a row. 2 weeks ago, T-Money, he threw 4 touchdown passes. He's going over 1.5. That's going to be a battle. Philly will be up in the 20s also. Jalen Hurts and Joe Burrow, over 1.5 touchdowns each. My third pick for you, T-Money, is a guy I've given you before, and they not giving him enough, not raising the bar high enough for Goff. Detroit Lions, Jared Goff, over 265 yards. 4 straight games over 265 yards. Detroit's going to put up some points. They got so many weapons. Laporta, Amon-Ra. But you know what? G-Man does the work for you, T-Money. I already looked up Laporta, Amon-Ra. I don't like their player props. Goff is the one to go with. This offense is going to go. Goff's going to win the player prop.
All right. All right. Go get it, G-Man. You're killing it right now.
Let's go. Let's go. All right. Well, hey, let's talk about killing it. T-Money's killing it in our fantasy league. Let's talk some fantasy. T-Money out in front in the West Division. G-Man chasing him 1 game back. I'm going to get you, T-Money. Let's help out these fantasy managers out here and talk about your DFS lineups and what you're going to do. Week 11 buys we've got in the AFC. The Patriots and Indy are on bye in the AFC. In the NFC, we've got Saints and Falcons on the bye. So those players from those 4 teams, obviously, you're looking to fill that gap. We're going to help you do that. 3 games for you, hot and cold, take or mistake, and our DFS lineup. Let's start off with hot and cold. G-Man's going to give you a hot quarterback. T-Money will follow with a cold, and then we'll keep going. Okay, I'm going with a guy that I know T-Money likes. He's already been talking about him. I'm going at quarterback with Josh Dobbs on the road in Denver on the Sunday night game. Should be an exciting Sunday night game. See who emerges there. Dobbs completed 23 of 34 for 268 and a touchdown, but he also, T-Money, here's the fantasy bonus, added 44 yards and a touchdown on the ground, T-Money. Yeah. He was the top 5 QB in fantasy. I like some of the quarterbacks this week, but the price in DraftKings for Dobbs, only $5,700. Too low to pass up, man. He's my upside quarterback hot pick of the week.
All right. I like it. I like it. My cold QB of the week, Josh Allen, 18.9 projection versus the Jets here. Look, I know Josh Allen's hot. He's averaging almost 23 points a game for the year, but he's playing the Jets. And last time he played the Jets, he only had 9 points. Last week versus Denver, he had 14. They're kind of on a spiral here, and that Jets defense is number 6 in fantasy versus QBs. They got an elite corner duo and with my boy Sauce Gardner, obviously, and they have an elite pass rush. They can just rotate bodies in there. So I like the Jets to keep Josh Allen at bay, and I think that the Bills will have to run it more.
Yeah, geez, how about that? Josh Allen, who would have thought he'd be getting points this low as a fantasy quarterback? All right, let's go on to running back. At running back this week, I'm going to give you a guy with a lot of upside. It's a very good price. That's Devin Singletary in the Sunday 1 p.m. matchup at the Texans. Singletary rushed for 150 yards and 1 touchdown on 30 carries. 30 carries, T-Money. He's the bell cow. The Texans win the game over the Bengals. He caught 1 of 2 passes also for additional yards. Overall, 23 fantasy points put him at RB3 in the NFL for Week 10. He's a great value in DraftKings, only $5,300. A lot of upside. Devin Singletary, running back hot pick of the week.
Okay. Houston getting hot. My cold running back of the week is Isaiah Pacheco. He's projected for 12.7 versus Philadelphia.
Okay.
Philadelphia has the number one rush defense in fantasy football against running backs. All right. I'd much rather have guys Najee Harris, Jerome Ford, James Conner, higher upside, not playing as tough a matchup here. And on top of that, Pacheco, the last 2 games, not sure what's going on, but he has not even had over 7 fantasy points. So trending in the wrong direction, usage is down, playing a high stakes game where they're going to want the ball in Patrick Mahomes' hand versus the number one run defense in fantasy. So Isaiah Pacheco, cold running back of the week.
Well, it's interesting, and how does Kansas City win that game? It looks like a pretty high scoring game on Monday night projected, and Kansas City's favored. It's just going to be interesting to see how Mahomes leads this offense and gets those points. If they're not going to run the ball, what are they going to do to get all those points? Who's going to step up, man? It's going to be interesting to see. I'm going to go for the wide receivers now, T Money, for the hot pick of the week. I'm going to a team I know you like, Seattle, and Tyler Lockett in the Sunday 4 p.m. game at the Rams. Lockett caught 8 of 10 for 92 and had a touchdown on Sunday. Seattle's tied for the lead in the NFC West with the 49ers. Should put up some wide receiver points this week against the Rams defense. They're middle of the pack in the NFL against wide receivers, and I think Lockett steps it up here. Great value on DraftKings, $6,500. Upside wide receiver, hot pick of the week, Tyler Lockett.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate the Seattle backing that I'm getting here for my bet this week. Hey, my cold wide receiver of the week here is Devontae Smith. All right, he's projected 13.4, but he's playing Kansas City this week. Kansas City right now is number 8 versus receivers. They have a really solid pass rush, and I just think the Eagles are going to want to make this a ground and pound, slog it out game. And on top of that, the last 7 games, Devontae Smith has not been over, or has only been over 14.1 points 2 times. So the upside has not been there lately. There's not been a lot of boomer busts. He's only had 1 game over 20 points in the last, or over 15 points. Sorry, over 15 points over the last 7 games. So he's clearly the number 2 now to AJ Brown, who's taken a step forward. So I'm riding other receivers, Tank Dell, Amari Cooper, some of those guys, Zay Flowers with higher upside this week if you have the option.
Okay, good picks, Team Money. I like them. Let's go to Take or Mistake, our second game. Take or Mistake. I pick a player that had a big week, and Team Money tells me whether that's a take this week or would that be a mistake. I'm going to go to that intriguing quarterback matchup with CJ Stroud against Kyler Murray. What are these 2 guys going to do leading their teams? Let's talk about Kyler Murray, Team Money, who played in his first game in 11 months last week, completed 19 of 32 for 249, did not have a touchdown, and had an interception. He also had 6 carries, though. This is what makes him great. 33 yards on the ground and a touchdown. So now that he's proved himself, Team Money, and his ACL tear seems to be behind him, he's back to running around. Team Money, can fantasy managers trust Murray as their starter this Sunday on a road matchup against the Texans? Is he a take, Team Money, or would that be a mistake?
I think he's a take as a starter. You can definitely confidently start him. I think he's got a lot of upside, and Houston's not some world-beating defense. So, yeah, I like Kyler Murray. He's just getting his sea legs back under him. He clearly scrambled to win that game last week, so he can clearly run still. So, yeah, give me Kyler Murray as probably a starting QB for the rest of the year.
Okay. Well, great. All right. Sounds good. Hey, let's move to our third game, our daily fantasy sports DFS lineup, brought to you by G-Man. Playing in DraftKings tournaments with 11 guys this year, have won 3 tournaments, been in the top 5 or 6 times, Team Money. I'm going to give you my lineup for this week. A lot of the guys we talked about, and just some good buys out there. Quarterback, I'm going with Dobbs. Minnesota, only $5,700. I just like that value there. He has a lot of upside. Running backs, I've got Gibbs in a big Detroit blowout, and Singletary, I mentioned it for Houston. At the wide receiver, I'm going A.J. Brown. I like that Philly offense, Team Money, to get A.J. Brown some points. I also got Tyler Lockett, and my sneak in there for $4,800 to get Noah Brown, who's been killing it. For $4,800, I slid him in there as the other wide receiver. Got Trey McBride. Kyler Murray likes him. And got Cole Kmet in there at the flex. And DST, I've got the Vikings holding that Denver offense down. All right, there's my DFS lineup for you, everybody.
All right.
T-Money, hey, let's wrap on that show, man. Great job. Hey, thank you to our sponsor, Blue Tees Golf. Go to blueteesgolf.com. Put in our code. You get a 10% discount. FSHS, babies. We hope you had fun. Hope you got some tips. NFL Week 11 coming at you. We brought you the energy. Now you go get the victories, everybody. On behalf of Team Money, I'm G-Man. See you next week.
Peace.